So Brian, here we are at, what is this restaurant called? The Dutch, right?
The Dutch.
And I'd like to focus talking about how different music, preparing music is for the theater as opposed to going in and recording a CD like we are today. Can you give us some insight on the differences between preparing music for the theater as opposed to preparing music for a CD?
Well, probably the greatest difficulty that happens for performers really of any age and level is taking a look at the musical score, which is the most concise shorthand that we have, at least at this point in history, to be able for a composer to give us the most easy way to interpret their musical ideas, their heart, their soul, their phrasing. And a score can sometimes occlude that, or because of the way that we've been taught, can sometimes make us very fearful or trepidatious about how to phrase. How many notes should I play within one breath? When do I crescendo? When do I diminuendo? Or what do I do if there's nothing on the score whatsoever? The most fantastic telling part about a recording session is that you don't have the benefit of the visual. As a live performer, I can use many aspects of my physicality and performance to deliver that product. Just simply sometimes by standing in a certain posture, standing taller, moving forward towards the audience, I can make a crescendo happen that maybe doesn't even appear on the paper, and you might not even be able to record or hear in the compression waves, but the audience perceives it as such. In the recording studio, there's no visual cue whatsoever. Therefore, it's really important for us as performers to take that rawest, most material that's there and infer. And that comes from intuition, comes from experience, it comes from how your mother sang to you lullabies when you were an infant and a toddler. All of that becomes part of your culture, and you use that to create the next musical interpretation. That's why everyone interprets any kind of standard, or in the pop world we might just simply call it a cover tune. So in playing Mozart Concerto, a cover tune, there are many different ways of doing that. That's based upon very individual factors. But I think the most critical element of going into the recording studio is trying to recreate that live stage where you can see, you can almost smell, touch the musicians, and have the musical elements, all of the phrasing, all of the dynamic and energy come across. Because regardless of how critical and expensive and wonderful the technology is that allows you to capture those compression waves, it doesn't substitute for that live performance. But that's our goal as the recording musicians, to be able to create that so that that young player listening on their earbuds, or hopefully better, maybe sitting down in a quiet place, listening through as best possible a stereo system that they can muster, so that they can infer the most raw depth of the musical ideas of composers like yourself.